Hey y'all, so I'm gonna jump right into this video. Right now what I'm doing is priming the nails. I will let you guys know from jump that I am a beginner, and I forgot that I was going to be recording a video, so I did start my prep and I put my tips on and everything prior to recording, but next time I will not forget to add that in. But I have been doing nails for 9 months. I am technically self-taught. I am starting school in the next 3 weeks. I'm so excited for that. But here we go. Let me tell you guys what's going on here. So I normally use the 3-bead method. I start my first bead by the smile line, which is basically where the tip and your natural nail bed meets. I start placing my beads there. And then the next bead, I go a little further down, closer to the middle of the nail bed. Always pointing the finger in a downward position. And then I always constantly wipe the free edge, which is the sides of the nail, with my brush, just simply dragging it down to ensure that the shape stays in place and stays intact. Now when you're placing your beads, you always pat and wipe opposed to pulling and dragging the acrylic down. So this is my cuticle bead. I always make these ones drier than the others. And then I place the finger downward, pat, wipe the free edge on both sides, pat some more, and wipe. Each time I pat, I always wipe my brush on my napkin and then dip in my monomer to make sure everything is smooth and in place. Now, if any places that I was missing with my 3 beads, I go ahead and fill it in with smaller beads. So sometimes I may do more than 3 beads, and that is okay. It's however many beads that are necessary. But I go ahead and constantly repeat this step until I get the base layer of my set on each nail. So as you can see, I did not use 3 beads for that. No, but it's okay. Like I said, as long as you do your foundation correctly and have your apex in place, then you are perfectly fine. There is no real strict rule to using a 3 bead, 4 bead, 5 bead, 2 bead method. It's however many you need to complete the job. I mean, of course, if you use less beads, supposedly you'll get it done faster. But hey, like I said, I'm still a beginner and I'm still learning. So this next nail I did clear, and I could have done the whole nail but I don't know why. I just did a thin layer. And I'm going to go back to it this nail. The reason why I'm doing it clear and just clear only is because we're going to put Swarovskis on this nail to bling it out. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep repeating the steps. The next nail is going to be pink again, and then I'm going to have some clear in there too. So this set is basically going to be just pink and clear with some bling and some foils and some glitter. But I'm going to get into that. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys watch. I'm going to be quiet until I go ahead to start my next layer. So I'm priming these fingers. I always prime each hand separately because clients touch things, their clothes, their phone, their hair, and primer is very sticky. If anything stuck to it, it's going to mess up the adhesive on the nail bed. So again, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the steps on all 5 fingers, and I will be back once I start the next layer.
Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start the next layer, which is basically the freestyle layer. And each finger is going to be different. I just think as I go. So as you've seen, I went ahead and picked up some glitter to go ahead and do a glitter ombre on this nail. And you see I placed the glitter on the mid-level of that nail. This glitter was giving me such a hard time. It was getting on my nerves. Oh my god. But after the glitter, I went ahead and put some pink on it to ombre it out. And that's what I did on that nail. So when doing ombre, you always place that second color bead towards the smile line and hurry up and drag it up fast. And then you go ahead and always clean the free edge. As always, pat, pat, pat. Drag down, and if you need to add more of your glitter or your base color, you add more on and keep going. Listen, honey, I had to put on a voice effect. It is 2:30 a.m. Everyone in my house is asleep. This is the perfect time for me to do this voiceover. And my voice is getting real raspy, so bear with me, y'all. I had to put on a voice effect because I gotta finish this video so we can get it uploaded. So what you see me doing right now is encapsulating this nail with clear. Now, I normally do the encapsulating at the end, but this glitter was so stubborn that I wanted to make sure that it stayed in place. So I did a thin layer of clear. I didn't do my full encap, but I'm going to go into what capping is once I cap all nails. So we're just going to move along. So at first I was going to put the gold foil on this nail, but then I remembered that this nail was for the Swarovskis. Like, duh. How could I forget about the bling? You always need some bling. Anyways, and it looked cuter on the pink nail. Anyway, so I just went ahead and put the gold foil on that pink middle finger instead of this ring finger because, you know, we gotta keep that ring finger blinged out. So you're going to see me switch it over to that middle finger instead, and I know you agree it looked better there. Anyways, foil really gets on my nerves because it's so hard to move it around. I'm going to invest in one of them crushers that everybody be talking about so that I can have the smaller chips and it might be much easier for me to lay it and place it because I like everything precisely placed so that it can look like a type of, you know, flow. So finally, once I was able to get the foil to cooperate and lay where I wanted it to, I went ahead and encapsulated this nail. Now, encapsulating the nail is basically going in with clear, and you would want it to be a thick layer, not too thick, not too thin, but you are building your apex and your foundation. You are making sure your nail is not too flimsy and it's not too thick. So you repeat the steps, you lay each bead, you wipe and pat. So as you see, I'm going to be encapsulating each nail once I go ahead and put the design on. That is something that you do on every single nail. You encap it with clear acrylic. Okay, and so on this finger, I went ahead and added on some foil as well. Add some glitter, and then go ahead and encapsulate that one once I get my design in place how I want it. On this finger, I used the gold foil to mimic the V French look. So instead of using acrylic, I just lined the nail with this gold foil, and this looked really nice once I go ahead and encapsulate it. As always, encapsulate each nail after you put down your base. On this nail, I just simply encapsulated it because I am using this one for my Swarovski nail. We're going to bling this one out. And then on that remaining thumb, I'm just going to encapsulate the pink. And we're going to go ahead and get into shaping. So I'm going to go ahead and be quiet until we get into that part. Okay, so I use the Panna 8080 Foul Grit. I like to use the white because it does not stain the nail. And I always shape the sides first and the free edge. Then I shape across and around the cuticle area, just trying to smoothen everything out. I normally go hard with hand filing so that I have very little work to do with my e-file. Now, of course, when filing, you want to make sure that you are keeping your file straight or at the correct angle. You file under Then you file the free edge, then you file the top and around the nail. And I do this repeatedly on each nail, always sharpening the sides to keep the shape intact. As you see, sharpening the sides. So yes, I go ahead and repeat this on one hand, and then after that I go in with my E-file. And the reason why I worked one hand at a time is because the clients like to touch things and I don't want to mess up anything. So I let them use that free hand while I work on this hand, and then by the time I'm finished with this one, it'll be completed. Okay, so I use the Melody Susie E-file, and so far I like it. Right now I'm using a fine bit, and I'm using this to go around the cuticle as close as I can, straight around in a circular motion. And I'm going to do that around the whole now, and then under to take off any excess from when I was filing. I do that on both sides, and then I bring it across the top and then up the nail so that everything is evenly filed. And I do this repeatedly on every nail, taking off any excess acrylic where it is not needed. So I go ahead and repeat that step on every finger on this hand. As you can see, close to the cuticle, around the whole cuticle, and then repeat the same thing to every finger until you are done cleaning and sealing the cuticles. And then normally I would go in with a buffer, but I ran out, so I am going to go in with a 180/80 file grit to finish the job. I will be back once we get there. As I said earlier, I normally use a buffer, but I ran out, so I'm going to go ahead and use an 180 file grit and reshape the free edge, shape around the whole nail, and just smoothing everything out with the softer side of my grit. Once that is done, I go ahead and dust off the hand and clean it with some 99% alcohol. And I ask my client to inspect the nail to make sure that it is to her liking, to see if anything needs to be fixed or reshaped or anything is wrong. Then I go ahead and move on to the second hand and follow that same process. So I'm not going to do a voiceover for that. I will just go ahead and let you guys watch. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and bling out the two nails that we are blinging. Now, I did start off using that gel stop or whatever it was called, but honestly, it was not working with me. It would just build up and just get real tacky and thick. So I honestly just be using my KDS nail glue or my EC basket nail glue, and it works perfectly fine for me. My clients do not lose any Swarovskis, and that's all. As long as it works for us, then it works for us. So, like I said, I just go ahead and use my picker, and I put some glue down, and I just pick where I want to place each rhinestone according to the nail bed, where it's not looking too bulky or too big. And if you have tried this, then you know that this is very tedious. Sometimes it gets stuck, sometimes it does not lay. It is so annoying, but patience is a virtue. So I'm going to go ahead and bling out these two nails. And then from there, we're going to go ahead with the top coat. And we're going to go ahead and let her cure under the light. And that is basically all for this set, y'all. So I'm asking my client if she likes her nails. She said that they're kind of sharp, so I went in and filed them a little bit to take away the sharpness, because she does have young kids. And yeah, so I just got my UV light off of Amazon. It's not no special one. I do want to invest in the Kiara Sky one, but I just don't have the means to right now. I'm wiping the fingers off with alcohol, 99% alcohol, to take off any excess stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead with my eye gel top coat. I normally use both their base coat and top coat, but I ran out of the base coat, so I'm just going to do the top coat. And then after she cures, you always have to wipe it with alcohol, and that's it, y'all. I hope y'all like this set. I will post a video and picture of this set after. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, turn on your post notifications. Follow my Instagram at It's The Nails For Me. And I will be back with some more videos. Y'all comment. Let me know what y'all want to see. Let me know what y'all want to know. Let me know. Talk to me. I'm off this until next time. You guys be well, be safe, be blessed, wear your mask, and manifest all positivity and blessings and greatness upon your lives. See you next time.